Good day, everyone. Okay, so I wanted to do a Bitcoin update because we are at some important resistance here, and whether we break it or we break down, it's relevant. So my short on Bitcoin is from this swing failure of this high, with the idea that this is a range, and that's kind of taken from the context that. Let me remove this volume profile. Actually, I will mark out this point of control just so we have it for later. But these middle touches make this very likely that this is a parallel range from this wick here. So we kind of swing failure the highs of the range. That's where my last short is from. Um, I did add to my shorts and I took some scalp longs, but the places I added is just looking at these key golden pocket retracements. Let me turn those on my fibs. So we initially had this one, a very nice ad, and then we had this one. I'd shared that in the public Telegram as well, that was a target to add to shorts. So nice breakdown. But we're coming into support here this morning, and that's the ascending channel that we're in. And it's not a confirmed channel because we only have one touch on the top, but it's something to be aware of. It's just these nice middle touches make it likely to possibly develop into a channel. So you always need to look to the highs of the channel. But we have so much horizontal resistance here that a breakout maybe isn't the most likely, but let's go over some of the ideas that we have here. So this golden pocket we're bouncing off of is just a local one. It's from this pivot low to this pivot high, also coming to this trend line. So I pointed this out just in the members group, but this morning we were having some bullish absorption here. I did not take the longs here, but I did say that technically longs make sense here. But I was happy. I have longs from lower. I have shorts and profit. And I just decided not to long this first minor retracement, but just pointing out it does make sense to at least scalp it. But what I'm looking for today is some really important ideas. So let's delete these. So these are our big retracement levels. I'm not going to put too much emphasis on this point of control, although it is important. But our big retracement levels would be this golden pocket, maybe in with the middle of this channel. That could be relevant. Maybe it comes in more here. Maybe a minor retracement from there, or a major retracement, but that's where I'd be looking to add to shorts with bearish absorption and volume delta. If we push up to the 786, that could also be an interesting place. So, you might add to shorts. If you see some bullish signs coming down to this channel, you might take some profits, maybe add to shorts again, or maybe get a retest of this. You're really just looking to see how price is reacting at these levels. There's also the option of swing failuring that high, which would be a low risk setup. Just to stop above the new high, enter when you lose this low. But if we break out here, it's probably likely that we push up into this region up here. And, maybe that's just holding this channel and we get an impulse up. So just be wary, always use risk management with shorts. But this is very important resistance and probably what I lean more towards here and am more interested in seeing. Let me delete these brush marks real quick. Is even if we range here, we get some retracements or retests of resistance. Ultimately looking for a breakdown into some of these lower levels. And I just want to point out this minor golden pocket aligns perfectly. This is our point of control, quite near the middle of the channel. So this is going to be important support. That might be a big take profit on shorts, maybe a scalp long if you're still bearish. If you have a lot of strength, you can carry some of it higher. But ultimately, my plan would be to sweep these lows. As we come back and we're retesting this trend line, I'd like to see that. And that would coincide quite well with the new monthly candle. So there's a few ideas here. I actually shared this idea back here in the members group that what I'd like to see is a push up to sweep the highs and then grind down into the new monthly candle. There's also an important fib time here that I don't have on my chart. And sweep these lows, and then we might get the big impulse off of there. And so, people can get confused because I share really bullish ideas. I have some bullish ideas of us going up into this region up here, 37,000 from this range, but those are higher time frame ideas. That doesn't mean I don't anticipate that we might get a range here still. And I've been sharing this, I mean, since back here quite a few times is, a lot of people getting very bearish down here, just saying, hey, we're probably going to form a range. I mean, I have a line drawn back here that looks almost identical to this, right? So just always remembering we're in a range, and you want to look for your longs not at the highs, but at the lows. So I have longs from here, I have longs from here, I have longs from here. Obviously, a lot of my shorts that were in profit got stopped out at entry, but I now have shorts from the highs. I might add to them, and I'm looking for shorts at resistance, longs at support, and then price can break either way. I take profits on the way down on my shorts, profits on the way up on my longs, and if price breaks out, great. If price breaks down, great. I'm trading both ways with shorts from the highs, longs from the lows, but ultimately anticipating lower, and I've been anticipating this move up. So my initial long that I took, my latest major long, was off this trend line or this parallel channel idea, which we've obviously broken out of. I didn't actually just realize this until now. We're essentially just retesting this channel perfectly right here. That's actually an interesting thing to note. That's an important level potentially. Okay, well, I just wanted to give this update. Looking for some retracements to add to shorts. Ultimately expecting lower, but I'm not going to, my shorts have all their entries or stop losses at entry with profits taken. So if we break out, then my longs will just carry on. But for now, I think this is a pretty major rejection. So there's kind of two ways to look at this. We have the major rejection that we wanted to see, but we're still maintaining this bullish market structure. And sometimes you might ask yourself, well, if price is going to go down, why doesn't it just go down? Well, because there's many thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people trading, all with their own ideas. Some people are longing, some people are shorting. The market is indecisive in a sense. Some people look at this as an incredible opportunity to buy before the big breakout. Some look at this as an incredible opportunity to short before the big breakdown. The price will range, and eventually it'll find its direction one way or the other. So as we have seen many times in the past. But yeah, that's why it's always important to remain patient and just trade key levels. And even though I have high time frame ideas of seeing higher, I have fewer to see lower, but there are some. I'm not really trading this idea of, oh, we're definitely going to break down here, we're going to break out here. I'm just trading support and resistance, and I'll just let that happen whenever it happens. I don't need to try to guess. And this is something I always encourage everybody to do, because there were members in here saying like, oh, I would never long this, we're definitely going to 15K. And I was just saying, hey, we're in a range. There's no reason to be trying to guess that this is going to break down, because you're constantly trying to guess and you're missing long after long after long. You're constantly trying to guess that we're going to break out and you're missing every short. And you could have had all these great trades, and eventually you might lose a trade, but by then you've taken all these longs from support, all these shorts from resistance, and you've traded this range really well, and eventually you might take a short and it might get stopped out and your longs carry on. Or you might break down and your shorts carry on and your longs get stopped out. So there's no reason to try to guess, because one day what will happen, let's just say it's down here, I take this long and then it gets stopped out and people say, oh, you were completely wrong, you thought we were going here, you're an idiot, whatever they want to say. But I have all my shorts, right? And I've longed this, and I did miss this long and front run my entry by 0.2%. But I longed this, and I longed this, and I shorted this, and I shorted this, and I shorted this, and I didn't short that, I shorted this, and I shorted that. And so the point is, I don't look at it as one position. I look at this as a range. I'm going to keep trading it and getting all these great positions, and eventually I know if unless we just break this level without any signs of strength, I might take a losing trade eventually on a long here or a short here. And even I took a losing short up here, but I'm ultimately trading these levels and came out ahead of well ahead on the day, because I shorted this again. But I did take a losing short here. I took 3 winning shorts as well. I took net winning shorts, but I've took individually losing shorts, or one losing short rather. But I'm not looking at it as one position. I'm looking at it as trading a key level. For example, I'll just give an example of the losing shorts. I traded this initial rejection. At the rejection, there was an important level here we back tested at the time, and as it pushed up, I was in a loss there, but then I added to my position and then I closed some of it in profits. Then I added again and I closed some in profits. And so I took an initial losing short, but I'm just looking for my shorts here. You know, obviously went net green, was short here, held my short here, but closed some of it. And then I shorted this, and this went underwater. But again, I'm just shorting. My strategy is essentially every time a high is taken at key resistance, I, I want to short those swing failures when price moves back below it and take a quick take profit one and look for that short position. It was this New York Open short that I think got me underwater on a short for a little bit. I mean, we're talking about 1% or something. And then I shorted this again, this key level. So so yeah, all that to be said, sometimes I take losing trades. Shocker. But the vast majority, fortunately, have been winning positions and getting really nice pivot highs and pivot lows like this long I took. And the good thing about or I'll just say the important thing is when you take this long, also to maintain it, you don't always do it, but when you can maintain an accurate read on the market that still expecting higher, ultimately expecting the highs of the range to be taken. So you get a really nice trade when you can hold that long all the way up into this move. Not that I didn't take any profits, but I also added to that position as well. I added to my longs on some of these retracements. Primarily, this was a big add. So anyways, hopefully this is helpful. Just wanted to go over the charts and give you guys my thoughts.